All right, people, we are going to begin. Today we are doing area and perimeter. Do y'all remember area and perimeter? It's been a minute. Sorta. Yep, if you don't have the paper, go get the paper. Oh, also, does anybody have a national board certification? What's up? I don't have a glass on. Basically, he was saying that they're auditing the schools to make sure that we're really closing our doors. So if any of y'all need to get up to go to the bathroom, please make sure the door closes all the way, because they're like coming through and being really ugly to teachers. That like, it sucks for me because my door doesn't close all the way. That's not really my fault. But if you go to the restroom, please make sure that the door closes behind you so that I don't get yelled at in front of everybody. Okay, national board certification. If anybody has that permission slip, please make sure you give it to me. It is an easy homework grade. Again, it is not saying that you have to tell me yes. You just have to give me an answer. Can I use your stuff? All right, we are going to begin. Does anybody remember the difference in area and perimeter? What's area describing? Inside, yep. And that is the word that I'm looking for. Area is the inside. Perimeter is outside. And when we look for area, the operation that we use is multiply. And we look for perimeter, what operation do we use? Add, very good. Another way that you could describe these more pictorially, like the area, that is like pizza. And the perimeter, that's like the crust. Okay, one is like the inside, one is the outside, or all around. So one is like the pizza, one is like the crust. So let's do some stuff. First question, a rectangle has a length of P and a width of P minus 4. Our first step for most of the problems we're going to do today is to draw a picture. So let's draw a picture. It says it's a rectangle, so let's draw a rectangle. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just drawing a rectangle. Hey, Miles, you want a pencil? I have pencils up there. I got one. These folks keep taking them. Here, I got some pencils. Can you fill them? So it has a length of P and a width of P minus 4. Which one is the length and which one is the width? Which one's which? So let me ask you something. So let me see. I've got a box. So if I have this box and some of y'all, I heard different things. So some of y'all said like, this is the length and this is the width. And some of y'all said that opposite. Well, what if I take this box and I turn it sideways? Now what? The truth is, it doesn't matter. You pick one of them to be a width and you pick one of them to be a length. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So it's not like the longer one has to be a length or no, it doesn't matter. You pick one of them to be a length and one of them to be a width. That's it. And the thing that we need to know is that across it's going to be the same, right? I mean, that's really all that matters. We're going to label it. Doesn't matter where you put what, doesn't matter. Okay, so we're just going to label it. So we've got P, and then we have P minus 4, and we can label the other sides because we know that they're the same. Okay, so a lot of the things that we're doing, and on the next quiz, you'll want to make sure that you draw pictures and you label them. It's a really easy way to get some partial credit. So first question is, what's the perimeter of the rectangle? And what they like to do is they like to put this in terms of P. What does that mean? Does that confuse anybody when they write that stuff? In terms of pi, in terms of P, in terms of AX, in terms of W, in terms of X and Y. Y'all know what that means? Okay, all that it means is using that variable. Well, what other variable are we going to use? P is the only one that's in the problem. So when you see that, don't let it confuse you. It's not, I mean, don't let it confuse you. It doesn't mean you have to do anything extra. It's just saying perimeter. And because there's P and we don't know what P is going to be in your answer. That's all that means. So when it says in terms of P, it means P will be in your answer. When it says in terms of X and Y will be in your answer. That's all that means. So to find the perimeter, how do we find the perimeter? Add all of them. So when we see a P, we need to know that it's the same thing as a 1P. If there's not a value there, it's a 1. The main thing that students struggle with is remembering that P's can add to another P. Numbers can add to another number, but they cannot add together. They're not like terms. So as we go through and add this, how many P's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 of them. So I'm going to say that is 4P. And then what about the number parts? We've got -4 and -4. So if we put them together, how much would we have? -8. That's it. That's it. The thing about the questions on the TSI test is that they aren't going to give you beautiful rectangles. Sometimes they give you crazy shapes. It doesn't matter. You find the perimeter the exact same way. You add up all the X's and then you add up all the numbers. That's it. That's it. The next question, what is the area in terms of P? So our answer will have P in it. The area, how do we find area? We multiply. It's a step inside and we multiply. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those two values. And in this case, we have P and we have P -4. Those are my two side lengths and we multiply them together. So I have P times P -4. When I do this, I'm going to have to make sure that I distribute. So P times P is P squared. P times -4 is -4P. That's it. Part D says, what if the length is doubled? Draw a new picture. Okay, well, I told you that it didn't matter how you labeled it with length and width, but it did tell us about the length. It says, so length, it says that the length is P. Okay, so that means that we're only going to manipulate P. It says draw a new picture. So I'm going to just make another rectangle. And it says wherever I see P, it's doubled. How do we double something? What do we do? As long as it was a shout out that like, and this is what we do in my amazing math class. Okay. Would you mind switching your phone for a calculator? Thank you. How do we double something? Multiply by 2. Good job. So instead of having just P, it's going to be or 2P. Did we do anything to the other side? Let me be more specific. Did we do anything to these? No. So I'm going to just label them the same. Or not. So you have 2 more parts. You have an E and an F. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Do those. And so find it on your own and then check with your people. See if the person next to you got the same thing.
We've got it done. Hour 30 minutes. Huh? Hour 30 minutes. Hour and a half minutes. So 2 hours. How far is Waco?
Hour and a half. Probably.
Yeah, I gotta drive to Houston.
Because I feel like Temple's about 45 minutes. Well, I don't know. I'm going from a little bit more north, so it might be an extra 15 minutes or so. Hello? Yeah, they need to get scanned in. I have them. Because I tried to take them to Heike yesterday. She said we need to scan them in and upload them to Skyward. Yeah, it was for Monday, but I'm sure if you call them, they would change it. Why? What? Why? That's the craziest thing I ever heard. I would call Clivis or Riley. Like, what are they going to do? Find somebody to cover your classes again?
Why do we?
I would just tell her I don't have time to deal with this right now. Have a principal come talk to me. Then I would just keep doing what you're doing. Like, keep getting ready for your class. That's what I do.
Yeah. All right, love you. Bye. All right, the next one. Amari wants to tile the floor of her kitchen. The floor is rectangular and measures 12 feet by 8 feet. She wants to check the difference in cost to tile her kitchen using one tile that's $1.75 and then another one that's $1.95. So I know you've done problems like this probably in middle school. It's been a minute. So we're gonna refresh. We want to tile. So if we're tiling something, are we gonna be doing area or perimeter? If we're gonna tile a floor, is that using area or perimeter? Area, if we wanted to put a fence, then that would be perimeter. So there's a difference in area and perimeter. So if we want to tile the floor, we're gonna have to figure out the area. And then once we know the area, then what could we do with the cost of these tiles? Well, we're gonna find the area. When we find the area, we'll have some amount of square feet. And then what do we do when with the like $1.75 per square foot? What do we do with that? Multiply, very good. So first let's find the area. We're gonna have to draw a picture. And I'm gonna label it. We have 12 and 8. I don't care what side you put them on. I don't care if 12 is on the short side. I really don't care. I just want a picture. And so now that we have a picture, I'm not doing perimeter, so I don't necessarily have to label all the sides. I could if I wanted to. But to find my area, I need to take my two numbers and I need to multiply. So I have 8 times 12. What is it? What? 96. So it's 96 feet squared. So that's my area. And then she wants to check the cost of the tiles. So I'll check one of them and you can check the other. So to check the cost on the first tile, we would take that 96 and we're gonna have to multiply it by $1.75 per square foot. So let's see how much it would cost to do that tile. What'd you get? Did anybody else get the same amount? Eric, what'd you get? You didn't get that? Type it in. Super. All right, so that's the cost of the first tile. You're gonna have to find the cost of the second tile. Do it to it. Hey, I was just thinking about it. The note you have would be fine because it said Monday. So you're clear. I mean, I still wouldn't jump to it because she said.
And you're the one who's going.
That's what Heike said, but Heike didn't even make it seem like it was a big deal. So I won't worry about it. All right, love you.
Make it 20 cents. You know, that's what Coach Wagner said, Wesley. He's like, yeah.
The next question, a farmer has 1,235 trees. They need to be planted on a rectangular parcel of land. What is a parcel of land? Yes.
Large amounts of land.
I'm only saying that because, I mean, parcel isn't a word that we use all the time. So a parcel of land just means it's land, piece of land. So if there are 24 trees planted in each row, and each row must be complete before it's planted, how many trees will be left over after planting? So I am going to give you 3 minutes to see if you can figure it out. And you can talk to your people.
Each row.
What? I didn't even write anything down. You got the same paper in front of you. Oh, for the other part?
What do you mean by 24 trees?
So you gotta have 24 trees, and then there's gonna be another 24 trees, and there's gonna be another 24 trees, and there's gonna be another 24 trees. They can't plant them unless there's at least 24 trees. So it's saying there's gonna be some left over. You're gonna have, I don't know, 47 rows of trees, and then you're gonna have 3 left over or whatever. So you're just finding how many are left over. I'm just letting you problem solve. 3 minutes to problem solve. See what you can come up with.
I don't even know. A parcel? A piece of land?
Just a piece of land. So it's like a yard. We got a big yard. The size of the yard doesn't even matter. It's just, I mean, that part's irrelevant. You got trees, you're gonna plant them. So how many trees you got, but you can only plant them 24 at a time.
Yeah, it's asking me when you do that. No, I'm just giving an example. Yeah, that's not what it's asking. It's asking how many were left over after planting trees.
Okie dokie. Does anybody have an answer? Did anybody come up with anything? Okay, 51 is what? Okay, so you think there can be 51 rows. How'd you figure that out? That is it. So it's asking you, you've got 1,235 trees and we have to plant them in rows of 24. So it's like how many rows of 24 could go into 1235? So we've got to definitely divide first. Got to figure out how many rows can we get. So we can do 1235 and we can divide it by 24. You didn't get exactly 51. You got 51 and then some decimal, right?
Yes.
So it's 51.45, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I can't plant exactly 52 rows, but I could plant a full 51 rows. So if I do that, I need to find out how many trees that's going to make. So I have 24 trees times 51 rows. What does that give me? 1,224. Okay, well, that's how many I can plant out of the 1235. So I need to subtract. And that's going to tell us how many trees are left over. Mhm.
11 trees left over.
Mhm. 11 trees left over. Hello. Hi. Nope. Let me see. Nope. Not today. It's erratic. Sometimes not. I have him first and second period, so sometimes he is not here during first, but he'll show up during second. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Okie dokie. Let's take a little break. It has been a long week for me. And this week is my son's homecoming, so I got to help him make a mum tonight. I got things to do.
Dude,
I don't know when our
I
homecoming is.
never actually bought stuff for mums.
When is homecoming?
Oh, 20?
You need to get on that, buddy. You don't have stuff yet?
No, I got stuff, but I just got it never actually bought it.
It's really expensive to buy a ribbon, isn't it? Yeah, I was over $100 when I went. It's very expensive. Very expensive. Just being a senior in general is kind of expensive. You got senior, well, luckily your mom's a photographer, but there's senior pictures, there's graduation announcements, there's a graduation party, there's all the festivities that go along. And my son's a lot like you, like he dresses up for all the stuff. So there's all of that, and he drives to all the games. So it's expensive to be a senior, but you got to live it up, make all the memories. Okie dokie. Next question. We're on the back now. The perimeter of a square is 20 feet. You increase the length of the square by 2 feet and decrease the width by 1 foot. Well, what even is the length and the width? First of all, we have a square. What do we know about squares? Miles, off your watch. What do we know about squares? What's all the same? Sides are all the same. So if we know that all the sides are the same, so what is our side length for our square? Yep, so we've got, I'm just gonna draw a little one over here because this is our OG square. with side lengths of 5. Okay, but it's telling us to do stuff with it. And which one is the length and which one is the width? Which one is which? It doesn't matter. They're the same length and it doesn't matter. So I'm going to draw a new one with what it's telling me over here on the side. And it says that one of them, you're going to increase by 2 feet. So I'm going to have 5 plus 2. So that is going to be 7 now. And then it says you're going to decrease the width, which doesn't matter if it's the width. You're going to decrease by 1 foot. So we have 5 minus 1. So that one is going to be 4. Did everybody see what I did there? All right, got 2 minutes. Figure out the area and the perimeter. You got a picture, draw the area and perimeter now. That's the new one. Yep. So you have your square and it's all 5s. But then it says, now it's going to turn into a rectangle because it says increase the length by 2 feet. So it doesn't matter. Just make one of the 5s now is going to be 7. And you're going to decrease one of the other 5 by 1 foot. So I got my new one. That's what you're going to find the area and the perimeter of.
Just add another square to the other square. Rectangle required. Perimeter. You just add all the sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
The next question, a rectangular yard has an area of 96 square feet. If the width of the yard is 4 feet less than the length, what is the perimeter in feet of the yard? Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture. And I know that my rectangle has a length and a width. It doesn't matter where we put them. We've got a length and we have a width. So we just got to label it somewhere. It doesn't matter. It also says that we know that the area is 96 square feet. So all of it on the inside is 96 feet squared. So that's the area, the inside. It says the width is equals 4 less than the length. Okay. So if it's 4 less than the length, then we have to have the length and we take away 4. That's how we say 4 less than. All right, so I can label the other sides. So if one side is L minus 4, this other side's gonna be L minus 4. Okay. So what's the area? Oh, no, wrong problem. What is the perimeter? Well, we have to know what L is to be able to do that. So to do that, we know that the area is 96. And to get 96, we had to multiply the two sides. So the two sides are L times L minus 4. So we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to multiply L times L is L squared. I want to rewrite this problem. I don't like the way that it's written.
Okay.
Keep your picture. Keep your picture. Just erase the word. I'm going to change it. I don't like the way it's written. We're going to change this to say that the perimeter is 96 feet. I don't know why I marked that out. 96 feet. Perimeter is 96 feet. And instead, what we're going to figure out is we're going to find L. Mhm. And I'm also going to scribble that out because we're not saying that's the area anymore. We're going to do it this way. So if the perimeter is 96, and we know that, that the perimeter is adding everything up on the outside. So if we added everything up on the outside, we'd have L, 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 L. So we'd have 4 L's. And then we have minus 4, which is minus 8. And that is equal to the perimeter, which is 96. Yeah, I didn't like it. We have to do it in the other order. First, we have to, instead of subtract 8, we have to add 8. Always have to do addition, subtraction first. We got 96 plus 8. And now we can divide by 4. So we're going to figure out the length. Yep, we figured out the length is 26. I like that problem better. The next question, find the area of the triangles. Well, the first one, we're going to use this multiple choice because I'm going to show you what I want you to do when you're taking TSI, how to figure it out. And then the other one you're going to find on your own. So the area of a triangle, the thing that you need to remember about triangles. So this is a rectangle. How do I turn a rectangle into a triangle? Cut it in half. Fold it, cut it in half, right? It's half of a rectangle. So to find the area of a rectangle, we just length times width, right? Well, to figure out for a triangle, it's length times width, and then we half it, or 1/2 the length times width. So to do this, I have a length and a width, square root 6 and square root 24. And we have to half it or multiply by 1/2 or divide by 2, however you want to think about it. All right, let me see your calculator. Okay, so I had to figure out how you have to use these simple function calculators, so that's all you have on TSI. So the way that we're gonna have to do this, to do the square root button on your calculator, you have to type in the number first. So you have to type in like 6 and then press the square root button and you'll get some crazy long decimal. So what do you get?
2.44.
Okay, so we'll call it 2.44. And then what about square root 24?
4.89.
Okay, I'm just gonna say 4.89 because that's what you said first. And then we have to divide that by 2. So you have to multiply those out and then we have to divide by 2. You're gonna get a crazy decimal. You gotta multiply all those things out.
You multiply by 1/2. What was it? 11.9?
What'd you get?
11.9.
Okay, you got 11 point, hold on. 2.44 times. Okay, but then you've got to divide it by 2.
5.96.
Okay, so these are your answer choices. Do you see an answer?
What?
Which answer do you think it is? Now, you're not going to see your exact answer because you were doing crazy decimals, but you got almost 6. You got 5.9 something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on your calculator, there's not really a good way to work with square roots. I can tell you that it really is 6 times 24. It's the square root of 6 times 24. 6 times 24 is 144. And the square root of 144 is 12, and half of 12 is 6. But if you forget how to work with square roots, which you probably will, that's okay. Just change them to decimals. And let's say it was one of these and you got a crazy decimal. We'll type that in and see what that crazy decimal is too. But otherwise, you should be able to get close enough to your number that you figure it out. So in this case, it was a nice whole number. You're going to find the square root of this, and it's okay. Leave it as a decimal. I don't care because that's how you're going to have to do it when you do TSI. So you're going to find the area of this one and just put it over here. And you can just round to 2 decimals.
You okay? No, you're dying. So is the answer on the multiple choice? for this one?
No. The second one is you just getting a decimal answer. What did you guys get? What did y'all get for that one?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep, I would say 4.77. All right, buddy, I need you to go put your phone on the back wall and get a little black calculator. And then our worksheet is up on the front table. We're working on the back. You're a little late. All right, the next question, what is the value of X? So we have a square. And what it tells us is that one of the sides is 3x. What do we know about the other side? It's also 3x because it's a square. So A says the area of the square is 36. Well, to find area, we just multiply those two things together, right? So if we multiply those two things together, it would be 3 times 3, which is 9, and x times x, which is x squared. And it says that is equal to 36. We want to find x. So to find x, first thing that we got to do is divide by 9. We got 36 divided by 9. 4. All right. So we want to know what x is, and right now we know x squared. So we're going to have to square root 4. What's the square root of 4? No, it's the square root of 4. 2. So x is equal to 2. The next one, I'm going to do B. If the perimeter is 84. Okay, well, perimeter would be we add up all the sides. If we added up all the sides, so these are also 3x. So 3, 6, 9, 12. We'd have 12x is equal to 84. So x is going to be 84 divided by 12. What do we get? Yep, very good. All right, you got 3 minutes to do C and D. Do C and D. It's the same process.
You're dying.
All right, we are almost done with today. The next question, the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle with length L and width W is given. Perimeter equals 2 times length plus width. If a rectangle has perimeter of 100, what could be its length and width? So this is a TSI question. So what I want to see written on your paper, not just circling an answer, I want to see work. So it says perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus width. Well, we also know that it's equal to 100. So we could say 100 is equal to 2 times length plus width. So we need to know what length and width are. One thing that we could do is take this 2 instead of distributing it in. That's not going to help us. We want length and width by itself. What if instead of multiply by 2 over here, we divide by 2? What's 100 divided by 2? 50. So 50 is equal to the length plus the width. So what do we know about length and width? What do they need to add up to? 50. Go look at your answer choices. We're looking for the one that the 2 numbers could add up to be 50.
Yeah,
Has to be D. The other ones don't work. So that's how you do that problem. You plugged in all the lengths and the widths as well. Question number 9. If the length of one side of a square is 2a minus b, what's the area? Okay, I'm going to draw a picture. We got a square. One side is 2a minus b. And the other side, if it's a square, it's the same. So 2a minus b. What operation do we do for area? We add, subtract, multiply, or divide for area. We wrote it down at the front page. We multiply. So we have to multiply these two. We've got 2a minus b times 2a minus b. You can box it if you want, or you can FOIL it. Doesn't really matter. So if you like the box, use a box. We have 2a times 2a. We're going to multiply all these out. 2 times 2 is 4. A times a is a squared. 2 times -1 is just negative 2. A times b is a times b. And then we get another minus 2ab. Negative times a negative is a positive. B times b is b squared. I can't do anything else with that. It just is. Oh, no. I can combine middle terms. I was getting too excited. So 4a squared minus 2 and minus 2 is minus 4. And that's all I can do. The very last question is basically the same thing. It gives you this one side of a square. And it's asking the perimeter. So all you're doing is adding things up. You have until, I don't know. You have probably 10, 15 minutes-ish to finish. And then we're gonna grade these, but I would hurry up and finish them because I'm also gonna pass out your quiz, your test. Some of you need to correct them. So I set a 15-minute timer for us to get done with this so that we can grade. So go through and finish all the questions that you didn't finish yet.